Hello and welcome back. How are you doing this week, beautiful people? You've entered the time warp of another Video Friday. That's right, our weekly video content which we talk about the mind, the body, and other related topics. Now, last 3 weeks, our topics have been rather somber and serious. So I'm very excited to bring you a more uplifting and bright topic today as it relates to the full moon in Aquarius. So stay tuned. When you think about the full moon, we might just know it as, oh, the big, bright, full, complete moon in the sky. But do we know why a full moon is called a full moon? Well, that's because the moon is completely illuminated on the near side or earth-facing side. So from where we're standing on Earth, when we look up into the sky, we can see the entirety of the moon, the lunar disk, illuminated because Earth is actually located right in between the sun and the moon. So the sun is casting its shine on the Earth, and that shine is illuminating the near side of the moon. Now, full moons are a time of celebration and completion of the last 2-week cycle since the last new moon. So what are we celebrating this weekend? What is something to be happy for and thankful about? Well, the full moon is in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is known as the water bearer and is also an air sign. So when we think about what does this full moon mean, being that it is in Aquarius, we can take a look at the Aquarius archetype to understand what cosmic energies are being illuminated. Aquarius is the genius archetype. Many Aquarius suns are people who are very progressive in their thinking, are very innovative, and are not afraid to do something different. Aquarian people, known as the water bearers, are also very life-giving. They are able to understand the needs of a group and really be able to move groups forward in an evolutionary way that is unique to their own. Another great aspect to Aquarian energy is not only this ability to really cater to the needs in a progressive way of the whole group, but also to have this very strong assertion of their individualism. And what I mean by that is Aquarian energy, as much as it likes to be there for the whole and community consciousness, Aquarius energy also is very defiant and stubborn and sure in their knowing of themselves. Each zodiac archetype actually has a 2-word perspective of how they operate and view the world. We just came out of Cancer season. We learned that Cancer's 2-word phrase is I feel. And now that we are experiencing this full moon in Aquarius, we can look at the 2-word phrase, I know. So Aquarius people, again, genius archetype, very forward and progressive and innovative with their thinking, and they really stand by the 2-word phrase, I know. So how can we, knowing this Aquarian energy, relate it to our own personal lives? Well, we can really turn inward to ourselves and take a look at what it is that we know. What do we know about ourselves and our path to be true? And in light of the completion of a cycle and celebration, we can use this energy to really celebrate our individuality and celebrate our uniqueness and really celebrate and stand by our pure essence. Because, you know, we live in this world where there are so many constructs placed upon us and so many expectations and so many judgments and analyses, and really at the end of the day, we, with this Aquarian energy, can begin to strip that all back and just stand with your 2 feet flush against the ground and with this very strong knowing, really stand in your power as you are and not have to hold any shame or apologize for it. And what's really beautiful is that we just came out of a time where Sun was opposite Pluto. Now, Pluto is a planet that is associated with hell, the underworld, with darkness, and with intense, monumental moments of regenerative rebirth. So we're talking deep transformation. And so knowing that we just came out of that energy on January 18th and moving through this next lunar cycle, we can really take what we learned from that Sun opposing Pluto and carry it through with us in these next 2 weeks, I feel. And I really, really felt that Sun opposing Pluto energy intensely. That brought up a very deep-seated shift within me where I, in a very deep and depressive and almost wounded way, had to really work through that past week of rebirth from within. And through that rebirth and that deep inner reconstruction, I'm able to embrace this I know energy and really move forward, understanding that what I just came through out of that Plutonian transformation is my pure essence being reborn, and having this more solid understanding of my direction and path and who I am, and with this Aquarian energy really being able to say, this is me, and this is what I have to offer, and this is who I am, and this is what I want to do, and this is where I'm, you know, feeling that I am able to collectively guide our consciousness. That Sun opposing Pluto energy for me personally was really strong. And now that I'm on the other side of it, it's exciting to know that we have this Leo Sun energy, which we just stepped into the season of Leo. So that will give you even more strength and assertiveness in your individuality. And that's exciting. Some other aspects that are happening at this time surrounding the full moon in Aquarius. We have the Sun in Leo, which we know that Leo is related to the lion. Now, lions are king of the jungle. They dominate, and they are strong, and they are gorgeous, and they are bright and fiery. And this Sun being in Leo is going to double that strength of the Sun and illumination. So we're all starting to feel this collective bubbling up of strength, which is really great. And it's also like, what are we going to do with that strength that we found? The Mars is also in Leo. So here we have some more fire combined with fire. So again, just a really hot, bright, fiery, shiny time, right? Also, Venus the planet of love and beauty and romance, just moved into Virgo. It's a placement that it's not too excited about. Virgo is very controlling and detail oriented and very pragmatic, and Venus just wants to flourish and be lovey-dovey, and so there can be a little bit of tension there. My Venus is in Virgo, so this is something that I live with all the time. So I can suggest that maybe leaning into the positive aspects of Virgo, like being very organized and having a very strong work ethic and having a meticulous attention to detail, can really benefit your relationships when leaning into this side of Virgo. If you are in a partnership, do some acts of service to show your love this week. If you have a friend, you know, and they are going through something, and you know that maybe helping them get organized in their home space, or helping them clean out their car and get organized in their transportation space, just any kind of way that you can be of service and help and give and show your love in that way, is a very Venus and Virgo energy, and that will be very welcomed and warmly received at this time. With every zodiac sign, there's a spectrum of maturity. When a sign is operating in its lower maturity and operating at a lower vibration. When a sign is more mature in the later parts of their life cycle or life experience, then they are operating more so in a higher vibration of their zodiac archetype. In a lower vibration, Aquarius is selflessly giving to the group at large and does not have very clear boundaries of group and self. And if those boundaries are established, then they can be rather harsh and forgiving. But in a mature Aquarian energy, the Aquarian archetype feels complete in their individuality, and there is no tension there or bitterness and not having enough time or space for themselves. There is a fluid exchange and understanding between individuality and the whole. This can be a great time to relate to the whole or the group, the collective consciousness, in a way that asserts your own individuality and not being afraid to express to the people around you, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I know. So here are 2 prompts for connecting to what you know at this time. The first one is, what inner knowing is very present at this time? And if it's not very present and noticeable, how can I get quiet and listen to what my inner knowing is telling me? The second prompt, am I dimming my own unique shine to fit into a group? And if so, how can I reconnect? How can I reconnect to my essence? And as always, with every lunar phase, I like to offer a mantra. If you don't know what a mantra is, I created a video so that you can learn a little bit more about what mantras and affirmations are and how to work with them. This full moon in Aquarius mantra that has been given to me is, I trust myself and let go of my mind. Repeat this to your subconscious out loud or silently in your head. I trust myself and let go of my mind. It really speaks to the Aquarian I know, because this isn't a mental knowing that we're talking about. This is an inner knowing with these Pluto placements. This is a rebirth from within, a beginning of a new cycle as we celebrate the closeout of what was. So this knowing is deep, and it wants to be seen, and it wants to be exalted with the Leo sun. So let it shine. Let your own uniqueness shine and not be afraid, and fuck whoever doesn't understand or whoever's not on board. They're not worth dragging down your vibration and your shine for ever, right? Ever. So thank you so much for watching today's Video Friday. I hope that you picked up some tips, some life hacks, and learned a little bit more about yourself and our world that we live in. Thank you so much, and as always, breathe deep, and as always, love deep, breathe deeper, and I will see you next week.